I often ask myself on a political level, how did we reach such a level of decay?
A looseness with gasoline?
Yes, it's the widespread political instability, systemic corruption, or the growing lack of legitimacy of those in power that gradually set fire to all the points of connection between the political elite and the population. All of this just to make us go through a real descent into hell. I thought that generating AI title backgrounds when talking about a descent into hell was quite fitting.
AI a little is fine, but too much no, that's not okay.
I started by listing all the architects of this funeral march, but since I was at risk of reaching 666 and that would take a bit too long, I decided to focus on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse led by Lucifer, presented as a friendly top 5. So I focused on standard bearers, symbolic representatives of the collapse of the political world. Kerviel, lies. Jerome the Legion, the liars within our politicians are surely, it seems to be part of the job. But to dare to deny it when you're caught red-handed looking a member of parliament straight in the eye? No, the whole of France, that's a step above.
I haven't. The member of parliament tells me I've never had an account abroad, not now, not before.
600,000 euros in a foreign account, maybe that was nothing to him, maybe he just forgot. Well, 600,000, that's what he admitted to, right? But maybe that was also a lie. He said he lied to his party, to his president, and to the whole of France. And even to himself. Lies as a foundation.
How did he dare to lie to me? An example of integrity in politics? Hey, the thing is,
all his colleagues and even his president, they probably had accounts abroad. But well, they weren't budget ministers and nobody asked them the question. Personally, I'd have put François Hollande as the standard bearer, standing on his scooter like that with the helmet on, of course, surrounded by all those women he cheated on. Hey! Yeah, since I'm not sure you can be trustworthy at work when you're not trustworthy at home. Dominique Voynet's pockets. Betrayal. So, politicians who work for a foreign power, Iran, Israel, Russia, the USA, there are some. Just like there are politicians who have worked to sabotage France.
Great, we're talking about me.
But I chose the one who laid the groundwork for sabotaging one of the jewels of French technology, Dominique Voynet, the anti-nuclear advocate. I am the worthy heir, even if I switched sides 25 years later, when the damage was done. That's part of the advantage of being on both sides. You're always partly on the right side of history without worrying which side that is. By following the German anti-nuclear ideology propaganda put in place because they don't have nuclear power, she, with the help of her successors, made us lose 2 decades, 20 years, and that's without counting the interest. And to allow us, while keeping the disadvantages of having nuclear power plants on our territory, to no longer really have the advantages.
I had received the mandate to do everything so that nuclear would not be excluded from this list. And we went back to the one and the other. So I came back to Paris, very happy to see that nuclear could not be included among the technologies selected under the clean development mechanism. At the same time, I couldn't brag about it, I had to apologize for what happened.
Emmanuel Valls, the sellout. I was torn between quite a few people. François Bayrou, Bruno Le Maire, the entire Socialist Party. Basically all those who, when Emmanuel Macron came to power, immediately switched sides just to get a job and the paycheck that comes with it. I think I deserve it though. Emmanuel Macron was announced the winner in 2017 at exactly 8 p.m. By 8:04 p.m., I already had my La République En Marche membership card. And I had put an end to 37 years in the Socialist Party. Inconsistency in politics is a plague. Having the ability to change your opinions over time, that's fine. But not instantly just to get a position. And now I'm quietly looking into joining the National Rally, especially since in the end it's not that far from my original ideas.
It's a picture of Leonid's life. You have something white that is I think it's white, but rather white, a bit of white.
I mentioned the Socialist Party because it's always been full of them. Like Laurent Fabius, who was recruited by the Socialist Party right after graduating from ENA, motivated more by career prospects than political conviction. If the RPR had made a better offer, then maybe Laurent wouldn't have ended up with contaminated blood on his hands. It's similar on the right. There's recruitment, but generally. Back then, the guys were already right-wing before they got recruited. They're going to try to make us believe that after the same years of brainwashing, Sciences Po, ENA, they don't all think the same way. It's like football. The kid dreams of sunshine and sandy beaches. And once he's recruited by PSG, he still goes on every TV show talking about how lucky and happy he is to play for the club with the most beautiful Paris.
Beach in the world?
Even in soccer, if you consider it, it's unusual. If you take away the perversion of capitalism, wouldn't the players all stay in their hometowns? Yeah, who would leave? Why bother going to play in a crappy country and a soulless club? Seriously? Marlene Schiappa stupidity? I chose Marlene Schiappa because Schiappa in Italian is used to refer to an incompetent person, someone worthless, a dunce, a nobody. It was spot on. It can also mean a fool or a bimbo. We're getting close to a perfect score. Too many examples to list, but I'll share 3. 2. Inviting reality TV stars to discuss women's issues. Check. Advertising her single woman romance books or a hair salon through her Minister account. Check. Ending up as a commentator on a Nunes show and taking part in a reality TV show. Check for that too. Here we have a symbol of the collusion between telemarketing, capital, a Nunes show, and politics. You also had Roselyne Bachelot, Ségolène Royal, and that dealer, Labrocan, right?
Louis Boyard?
Influencer politicians, TV or internet stars. It's a logical outcome in a messed up world, you'd say. I'll admit I have a bit of a soft spot for a future full of TikToker ministers. No, it wouldn't be such a big deal if they themselves weren't influenced because they're easily influenced by propaganda that sets the rules of the market. We'd really like our politicians to be strong enough to break free from that. That's capitalism. That's Mr. Bolloré. Emmanuel Macron? Well, we needed a champion, and since he's been here, everything's gone wrong. He started a new era that's just oozing crap by doing every imaginable shitty thing. So, I'm number 1. I won again, thanks to Brigitte, without whom this wouldn't be possible. I won't list everyone since it would take too long, and I've mentioned them in many videos. And if you still can't see how he ruined the country and its institutions, maybe it's because you're one of the 10% of die-hard Macron supporters. Well, maybe not 10% for long, until 8:04 p.m. at the next presidential election, unless there's an impeachment decision. Which I support. Well, I will, but only once it's actually decided. For now, I'm against it. I'd rather stay in a metaphorical world. Typhon, brother of Brigitte and Echidna, a serpent woman with whom he fathered the worst monsters and horrors, is one of the most dangerous creatures in Greek mythology. According to Plutarch, he is also a pale and red-haired being. Cause of drought. But Typhon is above all the son of Tartarus, the darkest and deepest abyss of the underworld, emerged directly from chaos. The question is whether, as some suggest, Typhon is just a pawn. Who or what is hiding in the shadow of Tartarus? How to ruin everything by ending with a metaphor that could be interpreted conspiratorially. That's just like you. Well, I'm sure there are plenty of other symbolic figures I've forgotten. For example, former presidents, Sarkozy or Mitterrand, or events. COVID or the referendum of May 29, 2005 when our foundations were pretty shaken. I tried to be pragmatic. I could have chosen Bruno Le Maire or Olivier Véran out of emotion. If I wanted to joke, maybe Hidalgo or Aurore Berger. And you? Who would you have put forward? I imagine you wouldn't pick the same symbols of decline. I'd like to know which ones you would have put in your top 5 in the comments. As usual, thanks to those who watch until the end, to those who share, who like, and especially to those who tip. See you very soon.